All right, welcome to episode 10 of Bodybuilding's Amateur Hour. And we here, let's see, there we go. Now you're on. We have
Yeah,
Josh and Heidi this way. I'm like, it's all
hey,
backwards. There it is.
it
Nope,
is.
this
I don't
way.
know. You're on
This
my
way.
left
That way.
that
Heidi.
way.
It's like mirrored. I gotta get used to this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thank goodness for
I
editing.
know,
All
right?
right. Yeah, we're on episode 10 already. And yeah, that's fantastic. So, welcome, Heidi. It is so
Thanks.
nice and sunny out where you are, and it is getting dark and cold where I am.
I I know. I thought I'd share a little bit of the. I don't know if you can. Oh, wrong
Yeah,
way. If you
there it
can see
is.
the sun, but there it is. A
Yeah.
little bit of the Hawaiian sunshine with me.
Oh, I think your audio got a little funny there. Tr-
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you're good.
Sorry.
You're good. It's
Okay.
good now. Cool. Yeah. So for everyone that doesn't know you or people that do and just want to know a little bit more about you, you want to do a little self introduction? That would be awesome
Uh,
if you
yeah.
don't.
So. I'm Heidi, obviously, and I'm a 37-year-old mum and amateur bodybuilder. So I compete in bikini,
There we go.
um, and I have been competing for 6 years now, 6 years. So in a couple of different federations, I started off in ABF, which is the Australian Bodybuilding Federation. Um, and then I swapped over to ICN, and recently, since we moved to Hawaii, I have been competing in the NPC
Awesome.
comps here. Yeah,
That's fantastic. That's a lot. You're kind of all over the place.
yeah,
That's.
yeah. Well, my husband's military, so we're here on island.
Oh, you disappeared
He's
a minute ago.
worked.
Yeah, so you're there
Oh,
for work? For his work?
yeah, we're here for work, for
Yeah.
his work. So I am a qualified personal trainer in Australia, but because our qualifications are not the same as the United States, I currently don't work as a personal trainer in person. I just do a lot of online clients at the moment.
Ah, right
So
on.
yeah,
No, that makes sense
yeah.
for doing the online stuff, but it doesn't really make too much sense. Like that's crazy that the certifications can't cross over.
I know, yeah.
It's all it's
It
all
kind of
pretty much the
sucks,
same
but
stuff, but
yeah.
it's
It
but
is.
yeah,
It is. So
but
I've
you're
I actually started studying with NASM at the start of the year. I just
awesome.
have to sit the exam, yeah, and then once I get my certification, I can work in a gymnasium here. But yeah, at the moment, it's just the gyms won't. Well, some of the gyms I haven't gone around to all of them, but some of the gyms won't recognize my qualifications, which is
Right.
fine. I get it. Like they might
Uh,
teach things differently to how we do in Australia, but at the end of the day, the human body's all exactly the same.
it's all the same. Everyone, yeah, for sure. But
Yeah,
I guess they have to regulate some things somehow, but it's still
yeah, it is what it is. So it's all good.
yeah, awesome. Cool. So, um, I guess what was it like competing like in all the different organizations? Did you find there was like a lot of a big difference between like the NPC and the other ones that you've done,
Um,
or is it just
so
all just
I think
just the name?
there are a few. So ICM, which is that's I compete natural. So there
Yeah.
are natural based bodybuilding where they drug test a lot of the time at random. So you really have to be a natural bodybuilder when you are competing with ICN.
So
Um,
they could come along anytime throughout the year and be like, hey, we need, or is it just
yeah,
like, or is it just through kind of
I,
like what they do with Olympic weightlifting, or is it,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just with the shows. Like they can just come
okay,
up at a show and go, "Can you come with
through
us?" And
right.
you know, get you to pee, and then if you fail it, then
Hmm.
scoot you along. But
Yeah.
Yeah, apart from that, I've never been drug tested. Not that I would need to because I don't use any steroids anyway, but I have not had that happen to me. And the only difference I can really see competing in three different um, associations as a
Hmm.
bikini, as an amateur bikini anyway, is mainly our physiques. The physiques are slightly different. Not much though, from what I've personally seen. Um, and then also the posing. Posing is probably the biggest difference,
Oh, really? Yeah.
because yeah, each federation has their own specific posing that they like. So
Yes.
that for me has been the challenge is getting that right.
Right. Kind of transferring over and almost relearning a couple new poses and how to hit them
Yeah,
differently.
yeah,
And
it's literally,
yep.
yeah, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're in Hawaii. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's so yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you like? What's it like training over there? Are you used to the heat? Do you love training in the heat, or what's?
I actually
Do
hate
you
training in the heat.
really?
Yeah, I train in 24-hour fitness, which is an air conditioned gym. So I'm really lucky where I can get really hot and sweaty, and I actually don't feel it as much there. But then when I go and see my coach Jackie at Hawaiian Fitness, which is a really old school type gym, and I love the fact that it is so old school and grunge, but it's so hot, and I personally die when I go like Jackie.
Oh, your audio's gone. There we
Yeah,
go.
so it's brutal, but it's good because it means you're actually doing something. But I'm a big pussy, so
You
I'm
just
like, if I can live in air conditioning, I would.
oh man, you're talking. So you're talking to a Canadian here. We're like we love. Well, I love the heat, and it's just like we miss it
Yeah.
half the year. So
Oh, I love the heat. Like I love hanging out in the heat, in the sun, down the beach, surfing, whatever. But when it comes to training, if it's not air conditioned, I'm not interested.
oh,
I'm just
you're just
yeah, I can't do it. I'm dying half the time when I'm training anyway.
all right. Sorry, your audio keeps kind of like coming back and forth, but I think we're okay. I think we're good now.
Okay,
Yeah, I think we're good now.
okay.
Awesome. No, you're good. Oh
But
man,
yeah, so I take my
that's
hat off to anyone that does train in the heat because it takes like a next level like
like when you're down.
mutant, I suppose.
I
Yeah.
would. You're. Oh, it's just so. It's awesome. The wife and I always joke around and talk about moving down to Hawaii or somewhere down there. Just we just want to so bad. We're definitely not cold
Yeah.
weather people. We just
Yeah.
so you got a pretty good. How long are you staying there for?
We're coming to the end of our initial 3 years on island. Charles, my husband, he has mentioned that his um, work or something has a position that might be open. We don't think we will get it, but that would be another 3 years here, which would be
Oh,
awesome
would be
because
yeah.
we really love, yeah, we really love it
Uh,
here and the lifestyle and everything. And our boys are settled in school and that. And all of our friends, all of our local friends that we have here on island that we've made. But yeah, we're here essentially until the end of this year, and we'll just see what happens where we go from there. If we go back to Australia, we don't know
right.
where we're going to go. It just depends on where the military want to send us, really. So
Uh,
it's very
oh, the life, the military
mysterious.
life. Yeah. Do you like that? Is that
Yeah.
exciting, or is that just like you're getting tired of it?
No, well, see, I was born into the military. My dad was in the Air Force, and then when I turned 18, I joined the Navy, and then that's when I met Charles when I was in the Navy as well. So for
Okay,
me,
cool.
it's just I'm used to it. I honestly, moving doesn't bother me. I know it bothers a lot of other military
Yeah.
spouses. Some of them really struggle with it, but for me personally, it's just how my life has always been, like since I was born. So
You're born
yeah.
into it, and it's just something that you do. You
Yeah, and I actually do really find it exciting going to a new place and making new friends and getting to see all the different and new places and like, yeah, it's scary, but at the same time, it's really exciting. It's a whole new adventure every time. So, yeah, I look forward to it and I don't. It's a bit of a blessing and a curse at the same
yeah.
time, if that makes
Like gotta
sense.
go discover the new, get to go discover new gyms, right?
Yeah,
Get to travel around, and kind of like mutant
yeah,
on a mission. You're out traveling,
yeah, for real.
hitting new
I
gyms, meeting
I
new
live,
people.
yeah, I live mutant on a mission,
That's your,
24/7.
yeah, that's your life.
It
That
is.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, except for the work thing. I don't
Oh yeah,
work,
that
so that
part.
kind of sucks because I do miss work. I really
Right.
do. But yeah.
You were lifeguarding, weren't you, for a little bit?
I was lifeguarding at Wet and Wild, which was really fun. I really, really loved it and I really miss it. Um, but their hours that they wanted took me away from being a mum too much,
Uh,
and I just couldn't commit to that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's no
because
good.
my priorities, no, it's not. My main priority is my family, like over everything. So if it doesn't fit in family, whether it's my training or my work or my social life,
Hmm.
even I don't have time for it. So
Hey,
I'm really
no.
lucky in a sense that I don't have to work at the moment. But it's just something that keeps my mind active and busy and
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
gives me a little bit of sanity outside of my gym training.
Yeah. So that kind of goes into like one of our questions that we got is about like training, family life, and how do you balance? How do you personally balance um, gym, family life, and all of your other extra activities that you do, and making sure you're giving everything the proper attention that it needs. Like especially the training, like when you're in show prep, right?
Yeah.
Almost like usually for most people, especially at a high level like you are, and you're
Oh,
trying.
thank you. I don't think so, but thank you.
Well, you're going to a pretty big show coming up,
I
so
am,
I
yeah.
would consider
Yeah,
that high
that's
level.
true.
If you feel comfortable enough to
Yeah.
compete at the show that you are looking to do, if you feel
Yeah.
comfortable, then you're competing at a pretty high level. So good for
Yeah.
you. So how do you
Thank you.
manage to train at this level and intensity while keeping everything else in your life kind of in check and rolling smoothly? And
Um,
also, what show are you doing? I didn't mention it, and just so.
okay. Yeah, so I'm going to Pittsburgh in July to do the NPC Teen Collegiate and Masters Nationals.
Woo,
Which is a yeah,
pretty
it is
big
a pretty big
deal.
show.
Yeah, you're flying from
Yeah, it's
Hawaii.
um
You're probably going to be the only Hawaiian
yeah.
there slash Australian. So
Well, well, I dare say I might be the only Australian there. I'm not sure
Australian.
about Hawaiian because I know there are one of my teammates, Jess, she's coming over as well. So we're going to
Okay,
be
fantastic.
shacking.
Well
Yeah,
then
so we're going to be
that's even
shacking
better.
up together in Pittsburgh. Yeah, and then one of the other mutant guys, Kai, he's going to be coming. He's a masters bodybuilder from I think he's in Vegas. I could be wrong, but I think that's where he lives. But he's mutant athlete as well. So we're going to try and hook up in Pittsburgh too.
That's gonna be
and
fun.
he's originally from Hawaii as well. And then I have
All
no
right.
doubt that
Well,
there'll be a few others.
right.
So
Okay. Cool.
yeah,
I take that back then. I'm a little surprised that there's
yeah,
that. That's
but
awesome.
but
Because it's just so
I
far
would
away.
be willing. Yeah, I would be willing to put money on it that I will be the only Australian there. So I'm going to take my Australian
Right.
flag and just hold it up. And if anyone else comes and says hi to me,
Yep.
then I'll
Perfect.
know that I'm not the only one.
That's a good way to do it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah. So how do you, competing at such a high level? How are you maintaining your work or well, you know, really your life and like your other obligations? How are you maintaining all of that around your training and making sure everything
Um,
is working well with your family and
so my training is always done when my boys are all at school, and lately the last couple of months I've been really lucky to have my husband come along, and he's been helping me lift heavy and been spotting me and pushing me to um, push myself, I suppose, keeping me on
oh,
track with all
excellent.
my
Yep.
food, yeah, with all my food and stuff. So with balancing everything, it's it's kind of a team effort. Like Charles and I um, support each other with all of our stuff. I'm here and I'm kind of like the mum where I drop off the kids and then I pick them
Hmm.
up in the afternoon, and I try and get all of the cleaning and shopping and food prep and everything done, and then um, he goes to work, and then when he comes home he helps me as well. So um, yeah, I'm really lucky that I have a really supportive husband in
Oh my
my
goodness, yes.
goals.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he has my support as well in whatever he wants to do, which all he wants to do is surf. So
Oh,
it,
can't really. There we go.
yeah,
So yeah, all he wants to do
yeah.
is
So
surf. That's yeah.
yeah, so he's happy as long as he gets a surf in. He's happy. That's all I really have to keep him happy. And then my boys, it's just mainly being there, just being present. So going to the school for
Right.
their
Yeah.
assemblies, and just doing that sort of thing, and keeping everyone on a schedule, I suppose. We don't have like a really tight schedule of like we're going to wake up and have breakfast and all that sort of stuff, but we just kind of have a flow of how the day's
Nice.
going to go, and it's 7 days a week. It's usually pretty much exactly the same. We're pretty
Yeah.
boring.
But you,
But
that's the bodybuilder life, right? It's you know,
it is. Yeah,
consistency and like it's very monotonous. Everything's kind of
it
has to be the
is.
same, and like
Yeah,
that also takes a lot of the stress out of, I think, out of everything. If you know what to expect
yeah, it
coming up in
does.
the days,
Yeah, yeah,
for
and I've been
sure.
doing it for 6 years now. So both our boys and Charles, and also my friends, my really close friends, who support me through my preps, they know that when I'm like 4 weeks out, or 3 weeks out, or 2 weeks out,
Right? Yeah.
um, they're not going to see me. They're not going to see me at all. Like I'm literally just home and gym, and that's it. So yeah, and they understand that, and
Right.
then on show day they're all there supporting me. So um, yeah, it's really good. We're really blessed with a really good support unit that we do have, which is very very small, but they're all very understanding of what my personal goal is, and then our life as parents as well. So yeah,
No, that's so important, and that seems to be like the general theme. Even if we're looking at like male bodybuilding or female bodybuilding, it's like
yeah,
the support system is just probably one of the most important things to have. And
it
it's
really
like
is.
it
It
can
really is,
really.
and even having the support of your coach and your teammates as well, I think is really important
Hmm.
too. If you've got a really supportive coach and really supportive teammates, that just helps it be so much easy. Like it's such a an easy process to go through prep and not struggle. I guess. Yeah, like my coach Jackie is amazing. She does so much for us girls.
That's
And my teammates that I've met through having Jackie as my coach, they're all just there. Like they're my extended family, I suppose. Like
yeah,
all of the mitten guys are
right.
my extended family as well. So there's always someone to talk to and be like, oh, I'm having a really crap day or whatever. But I mean, for me personally, crap days are few and far between. But
Well,
yeah,
because you're
then
in
I have people
Hawaii,
message me. Yeah, well, yeah,
so that makes it a little bit different, I think.
it
No,
does.
I'm
It
just,
does.
I'm just kidding. Sort of, not really.
I mean, I don't know
A
if
little,
I
little,
could
a little jealous.
train in the snow.
Oh, it's
Oh,
horrible. Your hands stick to the metal barbells. It's like,
that would suck.
yeah, it does. Or you gotta wear gloves, and then like big
Yeah,
winter gloves, and it's dangerous. Nope, no good. No good.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. I mean, back home where we came from in Nelson Bay, which is in on the New South Wales coast, um, it gets cold in winter, but I mean, you can still go and train. It's not
It's not
snowing by all
horrible,
means.
right?
Like,
Yeah, it's not
no,
horrible.
it's not horrible. When my mum and dad live in Tasmania is freezing in the middle of winter, and
Ugh.
I honestly don't know if I could
Hmm.
train down there. I'd probably go into a 6 month hiatus and just like
Just a
bulk.
bulking season.
Yeah, just
Oh, missed what you said. Your thingy keeps. Oh, there we go.
oh, it's these.
I think we're good.
I'm gonna put this one in my ear.
I
There
think
we
we're
go.
good.
See if that works.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. No,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's like I always tend to do my show preps through the winter and compete in compete in the spring. So
Yeah.
uh, it seems a little silly. You're like absolutely like looking awesome. You're all shredded, and it's like February. You're like, I'm so cold here, and it's snowing, and I look awesome, and I can't take my shirt off anywhere because I'm freezing.
Yeah.
It's like I can't go to the beach.
Yeah. And
But
then your shows are in the same region or so?
well, they're all throughout Canada, but
Yeah,
we have a
yeah.
lot of regional shows here on the East Coast.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
we have like 10 or 11 shows throughout the year here on the East,
Yeah.
but then there's like hundreds through Canada. So it's
Yeah.
kind of pick and choose what you want to do or what you can afford to do. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
really,
I feel that. Yeah.
no. So yeah, go throw in a couple questions here we got through Instagram. That's
Yeah,
cool.
shoot. Yeah.
Let's see here. I already answered a couple while you were just talking. Um, what would you say one of your biggest challenges is for being a bikini competitor? Like, is there like a particular thing that you find really challenging? And how did you
Food.
food? How are you overcoming it? The lack of or the amount of?
Um, the amount of food. So
Which is really
I
interesting. Can I interrupt you for a sec? Do you mean like
yeah,
the amount of food you have to eat as a bikini competitor?
yes.
Right.
Yeah. And well, it's it's mainly I don't know. See, that's a really hard question because Charles and I are real big foodies. We love to go
Yeah.
out for like date lunches and dinners and go to different spots and try out new food. So for me, it's more that side of things because I really love food and I really love desserts as well. So yeah, for me, that is the hardest part is missing out on, and I know that is the hardest part for Charles
Right.
as well because, like, we'll even go out for lunch while I'm on prep, and I'll just sit there and have a Diet Coke and a water, and he'll get
Yeah.
food, and I'll just sit there and watch him eat. But it's just having that time together, because we try and prioritize our relationship as well outside of being parents, so that
Yeah.
it's
It's very important.
healthy. Yeah. But yeah, that's the hardest thing I find. Training sucks sometimes, but I don't find it hard. Like, I can nut it out and just put my music on
Yeah.
and get in the zone, and yeah, and just smash it out and get it done.
Awesome.
It doesn't, yeah. And then same with the food, like, because I've been doing it for 6 years now. The food is just, that's how I
Just
live.
right.
It is
Your
what that's,
Yeah, your
yeah.
off season is pretty much just like the same as diet food, isn't it not? Just like a little bit more
Yeah,
to make it
yeah, it
simple.
pretty much is. I try to keep my off season. I don't really have an
I've
off
never really seen
season.
you off before.
No, I used to. So I used to take an off season, and that is when I would like, we'd go out partying and we'd just eat whatever, and I was just constantly I was doing this like thing where I was putting on a lot of weight that
Right.
was not needed. Um, and I just wasn't looking after my body as an athlete should be. So I think
Yeah.
it kind of changed for me when we moved here, and I kind of got a bit of space from the lifestyle that we were living back home in Australia, where I was trying to compete, but then I was trying to stay like partying and
Right. Like
doing all that sort of stuff. So once we moved here, we didn't have a whole lot of people that we knew that we could go and party with and stuff like that. Um,
so.
or
Yes.
not that I wanted to. Like, there were people here, but they were mainly Charles's workmates, and I don't really like hanging out with people just because they're friends with my husband. Like, I need to have a
Right. That
connection as
doesn't make
well.
it. That doesn't make it your own. Or yeah, you just kind of feel like you're just sitting
No.
there or a third or something.
Yeah, like, I said to him once, I'm not a handbag. Like,
Trophy wife.
yeah, I'm my own
All
person,
right. Yeah.
and I have friends. I do have friends that are military spouses here that are really, really lovely. But then I have a lot of civilian friends that I see in the gym, and we go surfing, and they're like
Awesome.
they're my people, sort
Yeah.
of thing. They're people that I have an actual connection with through
Yeah. The
fitness
ones
and
that
health. And
you found on your own and connected with through common interests,
yeah,
right? Instead of
yeah, and
forced
that's what I
upon.
said. Yeah, and that's what I
Yeah.
said to Charles once. I said, please just let me find my own people, because it's going to be so much better for both of us when I actually do have that community that I've found that get
Yeah.
me and get my journey, and
Get your
um,
craziness, the diet and the
get my
competition.
craziness. Yeah,
Like
and
I understand.
that's not to say that our military friends don't get it, because we do have quite a few friends that do get it, and they're the ones that support me and come
Oh,
along to
for
my
okay,
shows,
great.
and we
That's
do,
awesome.
yeah, we do go out with them, and they understand that when I'm going out, I'm not going to be drinking, or I'm not going to be eating all of the cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory, or you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
The military friends that we do have that do get it, they have been an amazing support to me and to us when since we've been on the island as well. It's just, yeah, it's a different kind of relationship when you find people that actually get it and get the
Yeah.
sport and get the lifestyle. It's, you kind of dive deeper into each other's souls, I guess, if you want to get
Oh,
deep.
no, 100%. That's that
Yeah.
makes sense. And it's like I think it's really important
Yeah.
to have more than the superficial connections with people in life, and it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. It's really important.
yeah. Another one. How's being a competitive, or what is it? How it's worded weird. Try to make sense of this. How has competing in bodybuilding slash bikini changed your life, personally and professionally? And has it? And is there any? What's the positives and the negatives? Being a high ranking competitor. Yeah, that
Um,
question is very convoluted. Um,
yeah, there's a
let's
lot in
say,
there.
um, has let's just make it simple. How is being, competitive bikini, um, uh, yeah, let's just make this simple. How has, competing in bikini changed your life in a positive and negative way, I guess? And has it affected you in a professional way?
Um, so I okay, so in a negative and positive way, I'm going to go with the negative first because then I can
Sure.
just
Yeah.
put that aside. And so I guess the only real negative thing I personally find from competing um, is that I have lost friendships, which is really unfortunate. And I think that's purely just because they've not understood what what the sport is about and what the lifestyle is about, and that's totally fine because everyone's on their own journey
Right.
anyways. So it's not
Yeah.
like some people are in your life for a season and a reason and blah blah blah, all of that, you know.
All of that.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, all of that. And at, I'm at the stage in my life now where I'm just like, you know what, it is what it is. If I'm friends with someone because we genuinely want to be in each other's lives, and that's great. But if we don't have
Yeah.
um, that same focus, or we're not going in the same place and we drift apart, then that's fine as well. It's not something that's gonna. I'm not going to lose sleep over
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So
They're
yeah, and I wouldn't expect anyone else to lose sleep over me if we drifted apart either. It's just that's life, but it happens.
yeah.
But
People come and
that's
go, and it is
yeah,
what it is. Yeah.
and especially the life we live, it's like as military anyway, we come
Mm.
and go into people's lives, so we can't really expect people to just stay in our lives too. But that's pretty much the only negative thing I can really think of.
It's doing pretty
Um,
good.
for myself for myself personally, I know if you ask Charles, he would have like a mountain of negative
It's
things.
like, right. It's
Like
always,
the
yeah.
moods, the not eating, like yeah. She's always at the
It's like,
gym. Yeah, but yeah, the positives, there's like the community that you become a part of, and all the people that you do get to meet, and the traveling that I'm about to start doing with going to
yeah.
Pittsburgh for the show. And there's so much positive stuff, and there's also the personal growth. So like when I'm ex Navy, ex Australian Navy. So when I was in the Navy, I had a really bad drinking problem, and now I don't drink. And that's not to say that I don't like drinking or people that drink. It's
Right.
just that's my personal choice, and that's something that has positively come out of my bodybuilding journey
Uh,
because
then
it
that's just like one of the most amazing things. That's fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just such a personal growth moment for me that it's counterproductive for me to drink alcohol all the time and try and
Yeah.
do what I am trying to do. So
Alcohol and our sport doesn't really mix well.
no, it doesn't. I
it's not a
mean,
combination that we would really want to indulge in, for sure.
no, I know that there's a lot of people that do it, and that's good for them. But for me
Yeah.
personally, because I do have those that history there, that it's just not worth me going backwards. Like I'm moving forwards in my life, and I'm
Yeah.
growing as a person. So I don't want to go backwards and slip into old habits that were not productive for me personally.
Oh,
So,
hundred
yeah,
percent. Like, what does that give you, or what do you gain from it, especially in this sport?
yeah,
A little bit nothing.
yeah. Yeah, if you really want to actually do something with this sport, I don't
Yep.
think you can go half-assed. You need to go all in, and it's not just for
Yeah.
me now. Like when I first started 6 years ago, I was just doing it half-assed. Um, but now it's like I will literally do whatever it takes. Like
Yeah.
that's yeah,
You'll eat the plain chicken. You'll eat the rice 4 or 5 times a
yeah,
day. You'll do your
yeah.
cardio. You'll get up
It's
early and
Yeah, and at the moment I am doing fasted cardio quite a few times a week. So I am up very early so that I can get that in before my boys wake up.
yep.
Um, and then I'm mum for the morning, drop them off at school, and then I'm at the gym for another 2, sometimes 3 hours.
Good
Um,
grief.
and yeah, it's only because I need to get it done in that period of time that
Yep.
they're at school so that when they do come home from school, they have me there, that I'm
They have
present
your
there with
attention.
them. Yeah, yeah.
That's
And then
really
when
nice.
Charles is home, we have our family time. So I need to be there for those two
Seem,
to 3 hours.
yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't get done and it needs to get done.
Seems
And
like you have your
that's something
priorities
that
in order.
yeah,
That's
and
nice.
that's that's actually something that Charles has learned over the last couple of months while he's been coming and training with me is
Yeah.
that I am at the gym for a long time, and he's like, "You're here for so long."
Yeah.
I
What
said,
do
"That's
you do?
because
Yeah.
I don't have any other time to do it. When do you think I'm going to get the other time to do it? I
Yeah.
need to do it now, and I need to be here." So I have my the reason I am at the gym for that long is because I have my resistance training that I do, and then I jump onto the cardio machines and do what I have to do there, and then I jump into the group fitness room and I do posing for 20 to 30 minutes. So
Every
that's
day or close
every
to it.
day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, or
So many
close
people do
to,
not do
yeah.
that. I am one of
So
those
I
people.
prioritize naughty.
I know.
My posing to me is really important. I feel like that's the most important part out of a prep is your posing, because at the end of the day, once you get to your show, you can lift all the weights and um, you can like eat all of your food that you have on your plan. But if you're posing shit, then
Yeah.
you're not gonna do well. Like you need your stage presence and your posing down. And so yeah, for me that's really important because I get very anxious, and I'm actually really shy in a crowd. Like if you get me to do public speaking, I just shut down. But then come show day, there's like a switch that just clicks,
Just
and the adrenaline's going through my body and the music, and you'll see me backstage and I'll just be dancing and bopping along, and then yeah, it's
yeah.
go time when
That's
you're at that point.
so. Did you hear that, boys and girls? Posing. Get your posing in.
Yeah,
Once you get your posing down, you feel comfortable. Then the nerves are gonna slightly go away, right? You won't feel as
yeah. But you know what? I think everyone can always improve on their posing. There's always something that you can improve. And I video myself every single day, and I post some of them on Instagram, but I don't post a lot of them. But I do go home and I sit down and I analyze my video and I watch it and I pause it and I see what my coach Jackie has told me that
yeah.
I need to improve and see if I'm improving on that. And if I'm not, then the next day that is going to be my points that I'm going to be practicing on the next day. So each day is different, and each day is about building on and trying to get it better, to level myself up a bit more.
Awesome. No, that's great
Yeah.
advice. That is fantastic advice, and hopefully, a lot of the people that are watching this are just gonna follow it because it's
Yeah.
key. No matter if you have a beautiful physique, if you can't show it off properly, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
lose the points, or you're gonna have something amazing that people just won't be able to see, and it's really disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It
So
is disappointing, and I've probably disappointed myself um in a couple of past shows in my posing where I've either just like slacked off a bit or but
yeah,
you just
I
take
think
it
we've
and you
all
grow
kind
from
of
it.
we all learn, we all get there. I've had some pretty
Yeah.
bad shows, and like yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. You look back at old videos or pictures, and you're like, what the hell was that? What am I trying to
Yeah,
do
like
there?
I know my first show, my very first show, I when was it? I had a 12-month-old, James, my youngest. He was a year old, and I did my first show, and
Amazing.
my posing, well, it yeah, I felt pretty amazing doing it, but my posing was crap, and I just had, I was so nervous because I mean, it was my first show. So everyone has their
Of
first show, and
course.
it's
Yeah.
just like, I mean, some people just smash it out of the park, but I did not.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not too
I,
sure who has, but there are some.
yeah,
Mine
I've
was not
seen,
great.
no, I have seen a couple of girls do their first show and they've done amazing. And it's just like it's very inspirational to see these
Yes.
people that are doing their first show, and you just kind of think, oh, I wonder how they're going to go when they get a few more shows under their belt. Like, how far are they going to take it? Are they going to go pro? Are they going to, aim for
Yeah.
Olympia? Like, what's their plan?
What
So
is
that makes
next?
me really excited. Yeah, that makes me really excited to see other people succeed as well, especially if they've got it from the start
Oh,
and it
for
just
sure.
comes so naturally. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's really exciting.
So people, speaking of starting, coming in from the start, um, someone messaged and said, Heidi, I'm competing in my first show in about 2 months. I'm really nervous. Um, is there any tips that you could give me to help bring down my nerves and get ready to step on stage?
Oh, honestly, I think I just have to go back to posing. Like, just
Yeah,
get into a space, into a public space, in the gym. So even if you just start off over in the corner somewhere and you can't really be seen by anyone, but you're in that public space, so someone might see you. So you practice there, and then you kind of, the gyms are really good space to practice in front of
yeah,
people because people are not actively watching you, but at the same time, some people are watching you. So it kind of helps break
yeah,
that
yeah.
fear down, I suppose.
Where you don't have all
Or
eyes,
even if
but you
it's,
might have some. Yeah,
yeah, because everyone's there doing their own thing, but then you might have someone pop in and kind of go, oh, is there any space in here? Or no, there's
right.
not. But they might just glance at you or something. Otherwise, if you're not comfortable doing that, then posing in front of your family is also really nerve
It's
wracking.
good.
Like I
Yeah,
find it,
really. Sometimes they're the most
yeah, I
judgmental.
yes, they are,
Right?
especially if they're young children like my
Oh,
boys.
they will call you out.
Yeah,
You're
so
like, Mom, that quarter
um,
turn was horrible. Yeah.
yeah, or they're like, well, they're not even really that in tune with the sport at the
Of
moment
course,
where they
yeah.
know to to call me on my turns and stuff, but um they're more so they're typical little boys. So if they see my butt out in a bikini,
Right.
they think that's hilarious, or so to pose in front of your family
Yeah,
is that can be very nerve wracking as well. And if you can do that, then you can pose in front of 1,000 strangers easy.
for sure. I think,
It's
yeah,
just practicing.
and if they're in the crowd, then you just kind of look down at them and be like, you know, just think about them being there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was really excited last year because last year's Shawn Ray Hawaiian Classic was my fourth show that I've done. And my boys had never been to a show to see me compete. So they all came along as well. and just having them, like, I'll try not to tear up, but just having them in the crowd, having them in the crowd and be so proud of me. And they made signs for me as well, and they brought them along. That,
Oh, that's
um,
nice.
yeah, that's just, I mean, you can't top that. Hey, like that's probably one of my biggest highlights of my life to date. I think is just having them and having them proud of me, and my husband Charles be proud of me as well. Like you can't
100%.
really top, you can't
Yeah.
really top that. It's yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I totally agree. I like I competed at the Arnold's, and I competed
Yeah,
at the Gladiators, which is like
huge,
one of the top shows in Canada.
huge. Yeah,
And
massive.
but last year I competed at the Atlantics. It's a regional show, and the person I won my weight class, and the person that's supposed to come
Yeah,
out and hand out the medals did not show up. So my wife jumped up and ran down the aisle, climbed up on
yeah,
stage, and handed me the medal. I think that old
yeah,
Instagram post. And still to this day, out of all the shows that I've done, that is still like one of my most best memories. Having that support and
yeah,
having her there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like the family and it's just and the way that everyone shows it is just unbelievable. And it's
Yeah,
like
I agree.
that's
And you
like
guys,
part of
you
the
and Alison, you support each other so much. It's amazing.
oh
Like
yeah,
you're just a power couple.
it's a team effort, right? Just like yeah.
Yeah, because you
So
go along and watch her do her strong women shows as
yep,
well, and
she's
she's
competing in a couple
amazing in
weeks
her
too,
own.
right now. So she's getting
Yeah,
ready for a comp in a couple weeks. So I'm right there with her.
yeah. Well, good luck. Good luck to her.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, she's gonna kill it
Yeah,
for sure.
she always does.
She's you're right. She's scary. She's stronger than I am. That's for sure.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
be afraid. This is the
yeah.
uprising of strong women.
I know. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Um, so we got another one. Uh, how do you maintain, personally, how do you maintain like a healthy body image and mindset during competition season and off off season? Like when you're coming off, a lot of females and males, 'cause it happens to me, get a little like down and depressed once we start, putting some body weight back on, or
Yeah.
the strength. You start looking a little differently, or the routine gets a little bit messed up now that you're not prepping for something. How do you
Yeah.
handle that mentally and keep moving forward? So I know I struggle when I love the way I look when I'm like 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out from a show. And now when I'm like three
Yeah.
weeks post show, I'm just like, oh God. It's a little hard for me to
Yeah.
look in the mirror
I guess,
sometimes.
see, I don't look in the mirror.
That's one good solution.
I mean I do. I look in the mirror, but I don't look in the mirror and judge myself harshly. I guess it just comes to my personal growth again that when I when I first had my first boy, I had an emergency C-section, so I did not have any scars on my body at all. And then I had this huge gash on my lower abdomen
Right.
from having an emergency C-section. So I struggled with postnatal depression with him for a mountain of things, and I had to kind of really work on myself to love my body and love my scars and all the imperfections that my body does have, and just accept them. Um, Not necessarily give myself that excuse to
Hmm.
just accept them and then accept my body and then just sit at home and continue eating like shit and treating my body like a dump yard, but just
Right.
to
Yeah.
but just to accept that I have now had 3 C-sections, so I do have, my scar is bigger than what it originally was. And that doesn't bother me at all because that's where my babies come from and they literally are my life. So, um, yeah, with reversing out of a show, I kind of have the same mind frame where know I know that I'm going to put on weight and I actually really enjoy that process. I enjoy getting stronger. I enjoy being able to eat more flexible as I head out of my reverse. Um, and then I enjoy building my build season
Right.
where I am a bit fluffier and I have cellulite on the back of my legs, which all people have fat cells. It's
Yeah.
not like
It's
that's just
it's true,
me.
people.
So
Yeah, it's
yeah, so I think because I'm a bit more uh because I'm a master's bodybuilder, I'll say I'm a bit more, I have some wrinkles and stuff, so I'm a bit slightly wiser than some of the younger girls that kind of have a harder time struggling out of
right.
that out of that show look
So you think
into.
like the experience of like doing that many shows and then life experience is
Yeah, I
kind of
think
giving you an edge
yeah, I
on
think
being okay with
yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I love show day, and I love it's probably the only day in my whole year where I get to glam up. And because being a boy mum,
Yeah.
I literally live, I live in active wear or active wear. So it's not. I really enjoy a chance to dress up and be all girly. So for me, I love that aspect of the show, and I love showing off all of my hard work that I have done during my preps. But then I also really look forward to after the fact where I can start to build and gain more muscularity and, bring start working on my physique so that the next show that I do, it's better than it was, just, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
that's, I
That,
don't,
that,
I don't think I had the same mind frame when I first competed. I did kind of want to stay that lean, which is it's so unhealthy and
yeah.
um it's not sustainable in the long term, and especially with the lifestyle that we live,
Hmm.
like we surf all the time. When you're surfing is not just, people don't realize, like, and I didn't realize either, how difficult surfing actually is, and the energy that you need to be able to paddle for prolonged periods of time
Oh, it's
is
probably yeah,
ridiculous.
unbelievable.
Yeah, and I don't.
It's like
That's
Costco muffin
probably one of the,
energy.
yeah.
It's like,
Or the big long churros that they have there, they're
yeah.
delicious.
I don't think we have
Yeah,
those
but
here. Maybe we do. I don't know. We have giant hot dogs. Are
yeah,
those?
we've got the hot dogs here and we've got the huge churros, and I always
Oh,
get
I
the
don't think we
boys
have
them, and
those.
then they don't normally end up eating them, so when I'm not on prep, I end
You're
up
just like
finishing there.
you're finishing them off.
I'm like eating all these churros.
They're like you're like yeah. You have your cup holders just full of big long,
Yes.
big long churros in them. That's awesome. What do you dip them in?
Yeah.
Nutella?
Well,
Do you put anything on
they've
them?
got like they've got like icing sugar, like I think it's sugar
Icing
or
sugar on
I don't
them?
know,
Yep,
some sort of, yeah, they've got some sort of sugar on them, so we just eat them like that.
like that.
But yeah,
Dipped in
they're
Nutella is
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Well, I've not tried that, but I will try that next time. Not
Next,
for a
yeah,
while
not
though.
for a little while.
Not for a
Um,
while.
I got a couple funny ones here. Um,
Uh-oh.
let's see. Uh, do, do, do. Let's start off with like, I always like this question. Superhero powers. If you had a superhero power, uh, what would it be?
Oh. if I had a superhero power, I think I would want it to be that I could see through walls so I could see what my children are actually doing.
Oh, you you turn your superhero power into something very useful and
Into like
productive,
a super
and a
villain.
super mom villain.
Yeah.
That
Because
is a
I'm yeah, I'm 99% certain that when my middle child gets sent to his room that he's behind his door flipping me the bird, but I don't
you,
know.
you think so? You have the feel. You have
I
that
think
sense,
so. I know his personality, and that's the kind of personality he has.
right? See through walls. I've never heard that one before. I like
Yeah,
that. Do that like it's kind of like X-ray
yeah,
vision.
yeah. X-ray vision, so I could,
That'd be
see what's
intense.
going on. Because I have three children and only two eyes, so it would be
Right.
very handy.
You probably see a lot of really cool or very uncool things going on in this world.
Yeah,
You're
that
like,
could actually
it's,
backfire as well for
you're
me.
just like, yeah. Hopefully you can control it and not everything's always X-ray vision, because that would be
Yeah,
horrible.
because yeah, I would want to be able to turn it on and off.
Turn it,
Absolutely.
yeah, turn it on and off.
Yeah.
That would be horrible. Um, have you ever come like what to a superhero? What's the funniest? Yeah, that one's. Um, is there anything been like kind of ridiculous, or that you've like tried to do, or anything crazy that you've tried to do while preparing for a show? Like done something silly, like tried to do something to drop weight, anything like kind of like a crazy tactic like during a prep,
Um,
like do one
no.
of those, do one of like those Epsom salt, uh, rubbing alcohol and Epsom salt baths. They try to like pull water out.
Oh. No, I don't
Nothing
think I
too,
have. No.
nothing too nutty.
Not no. I I have Epsom baths every afternoon anyway, just to soak my muscles so that
Right.
I'm not sore the next day because I'm getting to the point in my prep where I'm starting to get tired and sore, and so I do that, and the massage gun as well.
Oh yeah,
But
that stuff's pretty good. But nothing like,
yeah, apart
yeah.
from no, I don't. I kind of
Hey, no,
I'm
that's good.
pretty
That's
boring
safe.
actually.
That's safe though, because
I'm pretty
those baths
boring.
can be kind of crazy and somewhat
Yeah,
dangerous.
I yeah, I would be too scared that something would go wrong, like I would die.
Right. You could, or it's like very like panic. It can be very panic inducing, or like so. It's
Yeah, so no, I've not done anything crazy
right.
or yeah,
No, that's okay. That's good.
just what
Let's
I'm
see.
told. I my
Yeah.
my coach Jackie tells me what to do and I do it. I don't stray. I'm a
Do.
very good person to train because
That's good.
I'm just like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And if I stuff up, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
And you're
But
honest. You
yeah,
make you tell the coach what's
yeah.
going on.
I'm honest with everyone. Hey, like what you see is what you get. I don't try and bullshit people, and like if I like you, I'll say so. If I don't like you, I'll say so. Like,
No,
but
I
I
think that's so
mean,
important to like. It keeps the negative people away, and it keeps the people, the positive people in. And also
yeah,
I think when it deals with when you're talking with your coach, it's like if you're like making shit up and like lying or saying that you did something and you
yeah,
didn't, it's just gonna affect you in the long
they're
run.
gonna know.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to know anyway. They're not stupid. Like, our
Mm,
coaches are highly trained and highly experienced people. And, like, what's the point of lying to them when they're more than likely going to know that you're
yeah.
talking shit? And then you
Oh,
just,
definitely.
there's the trust that you have between you and your coach. You need to have that trust that you're doing what you're meant to be doing so that they can do their job properly,
Oh yeah, they have to for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah. No, that's no, it totally makes sense. And you're only going to be sabotaging yourself, right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why you would want to sabotage yourself if you're trying to take this sport
Yeah.
seriously, which I know most people do, but then yeah, there's people that obviously try weird
Yeah.
petrol baths or whatever you said.
Petrol baths. Yeah, it's true. I've done
I
it
don't know.
myself, so I know. And
Really?
I've
Wow.
yeah, and I shouldn't have. When back in my early days, I'm like
Yeah.
140 pounds, and I've already made weight, and I'm still trying to pull water out of my body, and I don't know why, because I want to be extra lean, and it's yeah, it just doesn't turn out well. Just like things that
But
we learn.
lessons learned. Yeah,
Yeah, for
lessons
sure.
learned.
Not doing it. Yeah. Pet
And
peeves.
then people like me, pet peeves,
Pet
pet
peeves. Do you
peeves.
have any pet peeves at the gym and out of the gym that like something that drives you nuts when
Oh,
you're at the gym that people do around
okay.
you?
At the gym, I have a few pet peeves at the gym. So, my first pet peeve is when people don't re-rack the weights, so they just leave them around the
Oh,
machines that they're
yeah.
using, or they re-rack
That's a
them
good one.
and they're not in pneumatic order. Is that the
Yeah.
word?
Numerical order. Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
one. So if the fives are with the 45 plates and the 45 plates are behind the fives, or it's just all mucked up. My
yeah.
OCD cannot handle it, and I end up being the person that re-racks it all because my OCD can't handle it.
Have you actually ever seen somebody do that? I've witnessed it, and I'm just like in awe of like their how they're so oblivious to everything around them, and they're just going and putting the tens back where the 40s are. I'm just like just
Yeah.
looking at them like how is that how does that
I mean, if
how's that right?
Yeah, no, it's not right. It really peeves me. But at the same time, if there's a machine and it's got all the weights there and they're all and I'm using that machine and they're all not in order or whatever, but I'm just not there to do that. Like I've got a limited
Well,
amount of
yeah,
time in my day. I won't
that's
re-rack
not
it.
your
I'll
job.
just put the weights. No, I won't. But yeah, I was using the Smith machine at my gym the other day, and there was an empty pole where all of the 45s were meant to be, and all the 45s were leaning on said pole. So
Yeah,
not they weren't racked
why?
on.
Right.
That Yes, and I literally was like, "What the why are people doing this?" I swear someone has set up a camera and
It's
they've
just
done
like
this purposely. And they're just
it's
waiting for
just
their victim to come along.
it just annoy the crap out of us. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one pet peeve. And then another pet peeve in the gym is people that sit on certain machines and they're not actually using the machine, they're just using their mobile phone. That
Oh, yeah.
really because I work out in a very busy gym and they've only got a limited amount of well they've only got one Smith machine, for example. So
Ouch.
there's some
Yep.
people that go there, yeah. And a lot of my exercises are requiring a Smith machine. So I'll just stand back and I'll just wait patiently, quietly over in the corner until they've finished. But that can be for 15 to 20 minutes sometimes
Oh
because people
man,
will just
that's
sit there.
rough.
It's it's very inconvenient and inconsiderate, not just to me but to all the other um, gym users as well, because you're meant to go to the gym and work out. You're not
Yep.
meant to go
Yeah.
to the gym and scroll on your Instagram and write an email to your boss, or you know I mean, I have my phone sitting there with my workout plan of exactly what I need to do. And if it's not sitting there with my workout plan, then it's up on my mount so that I can video my workout. Um, and I just smash it. I smash my training out as much as I can,
Yeah,
especially if I'm
yeah.
using the Smith machine. If I'm using, pardon me, if I'm using a machine that there's only one of in the gym, I will try and smash those
Get
sets
it.
out as
Just
fast as I can, get it done so that I'm not hogging that machine and someone else can come and use it because our gym gets really busy sometimes. So yeah, to be sitting on machines and scrolling on your phones is just really rude and inconsiderate, I think. And that's definitely probably my number one pet peeve above the plates.
uh, I totally, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And like even when like someone's on their phone and you're like trying to get their attention to like it's like trying maybe I can work in with these people. Maybe while they're on their phone,
Yeah.
I'll jump in and do a set. And you're like kind of standing
Yeah.
beside them trying to get their attention. You're just like excuse, just kind of gesturing around them so they can like actually look up from their phone to like so you can like, oh
Yeah.
hey, can we can I jump in with you or whatever. And
Yeah.
like you can spend even time doing that, and yeah, it's super annoying. And we have to do that
Yeah. It can be
often.
really annoying.
We have to
It can
fight
be
for that
really annoying.
often.
I had to, yeah. I actually, when Charles and I were at the gym a couple of weeks ago, he was he was leaning on a machine that we weren't using, but he was leaning on it, and I actually
Yeah.
had to tell him to get off the machine, like my own husband,
It's
like get off,
like
get off, because there was someone else waiting for it, and he didn't
oh,
realize. But
they
I'm
thought
like,
that Travis was using the
they
machine.
thought
Yeah.
that yeah, they thought that we were using the machine, but we weren't. We were on the one next to it, and
Right.
they were just standing there waiting. And I'm like, "Oi, get off it!" Like even I'll tell
Right.
him, but I won't. I won't go up to someone and interrupt them and you know say, "Oi, get off the machine," because I'm not rude
Yeah.
like that. But I'll just wait.
Get them off.
I'll
Grab
wait
their phone and
patiently, and
throw it.
then
Just be like, fuck
yeah,
this.
grab their phone, bro.
Just get it out of here.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to, they might be going through something at that time as well in their life where they need to have a moment. So you kind of give people a little bit of grace as well. But it is a pet peeve of mine.
You
Yeah,
try. But
yeah,
sometimes
you
we
do
it's
try.
hard to think it's hard to think about that in the moments.
Yeah, it is.
That's for sure.
So yeah. So
All
what
right.
was there another part of that question or
No, I
can't
think just
remember?
like just the pet peeves.
Nope.
That was just kind of it on
Yeah,
here. Um,
yeah,
we'll probably get
that's pretty much it.
one more question in, I think, and then we're let's see, we got quite a few. Some of them are ones that we've kind of already went over. Um, so we'll end. I guess we'll start ending it with. Um, so this show is really based on like amateur bodybuilding and fitness and anything that really has to do with fitness in the stage. So um, we'll kind of get into your very first show, if that's
Yeah,
okay. And what
yeah.
was your very first show like? And kind of leading back into that old question where the person was wondering about like nerves and stuff. So for you, your very first show, what was it like? How did you do? And how is it different to the show that you're about to do?
Um, my very first show was, in my eyes, an absolute disaster personally for myself. The show was
Yes,
amazing.
that's awesome. I love hearing
The
that.
show was amazing, but I had like very minimal muscle, and I still don't have a whole lot of muscle, but I've grown a lot in 6 years. So my first show, I was like I said, 12 months postpartum, and I had very little muscle um, on me. I had never been to a bodybuilding show.
Whoa, so you've
Um,
never been to a show before, but you're competing in one.
so
Okay.
I yeah, my one of my friends, she actually competed in a show, and she put her photos up on Instagram, and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I would so love to do that. And she's like, you totally should. So I was like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, let's do it.
That sounds very familiar to one of my friends.
So
It,
yeah, so I went home and I said to Charles, I'm gonna do this, and he kind of laughed at me, and I'm like, no,
like, oh,
serious, let's go. So we set up our garage as a kind of gym thing so I could get started, and then I started training at an actual gym with my first coach. Um, and yeah, I just didn't have the build season before my show
right.
to physically be prepared.
So you jumped into your first show without really training?
Yeah, I trained, but it wasn't to the intensity that I train right now.
Right. Okay.
It
So like,
was it was half-assed. It was for me
how many
personally.
weeks
I
out
just
did you
kind
give
of
yourself for your
my
first show?
prep for that show, I only did a 10-week prep.
And did you
So
start
yeah, it was
training like when that 10 weeks was like starting to train as well, or were you training in your garage a little bit before
no,
that?
I was Charles was in the garage with me, helping me do some squats and stuff at home. So, and we did lots of like running, and I was, yeah, just more active with the boys
Right.
than anything, because at that point I had three
Yeah,
young
oh yeah.
boys. Um,
6 years, yeah, 6 years
yeah, like
ago.
I had a
Yeah.
baby, a toddler, and a primary school, elementary
Good
school kid.
goodness, yeah.
So yeah, I was very busy anyway, so I didn't really need to work hard to lose weight, but I definitely should have built more before I did my
Yeah.
first show. Um, but then in my second show, I built a little bit more, and then my first show I didn't place at all. I didn't even get a look in for that, which um, I wasn't. I don't think I was really expecting to place anyway, but
Okay.
just the experience overall was amazing for my first show. Like I said, the show was amazing, and I had friends and Charles come to support me and cheer me on as well. So it was it was all new. It was my first show. It was something to build on, and I think I've definitely done that in the last 6 years with my. This is my fifth prep that I'm doing. Um, or sixth prep. This is my sixth prep. So
Six.
I've done six. Yeah. Um, yeah, I've just built on each time, and
Yeah,
I've just got a
that's
bit more serious about it. Yeah,
that's
as the
probably
years have gone on.
yeah, that's the important thing, right? To get better every time, you know. That's the goal
Yeah,
anyway. That's
and
what we try.
yeah, absolutely, it is the goal, and it's just yeah. Now I'm more serious about it, whereas back then I was just kind of like, oh yeah, that sounds fun, but now I'm like, all right, let's do this. Like this is the goal. This is where we're going. This
Heck
is
yeah.
what we have to do. Yeah. So
Cool. So for your
yeah,
first show, you went in, it was crap, didn't place.
yeah,
But
it
at
was.
least, yeah,
I,
no, I think that's great. I think that's a lot of people go in thinking that they're gonna go in and kill it, but most of the time it doesn't turn out that way.
yeah, I mean, I
So,
don't even remember what I thought I was going to happen out of that show, but I just like I know that I definitely didn't deserve to place. So
looking back, yeah,
so I'm not, and I wasn't sad at the time because I was just so happy that I had ticked this task, I guess, off that
yeah,
I wanted to do. And then it kind of made me fall in love with the sport. And then after I did my first show, I went and did my second show. And that's where I got second in I got
that's
second
huge.
place in that show.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then,
So
yeah,
there's
that
definitely
was,
some improvements between the two.
yeah, there was definitely a little bit of improvement between the two. And then my third show was actually cancelled because that was, like for my third prep, that's when COVID hit. So I had gone through that whole
Yeah,
prep, and yeah, so I kind of had a few years off before I did my actual third show, which was the Shawn Ray Hawaiian Classic in 2021 here. And I had built a fair bit of muscle between my second and that show. And then I got first in that one in Novice. And then last year was my fourth show. Um, and again, I had built more muscle, even more, and I got first in Masters and Opens last year
That's
too. So
badass. That's so good.
yeah, yeah, and now going into my fifth and sixth shows, I've put the work in between Shawn Ray and now to get get bigger in the areas that I need to get bigger and get smaller in the areas that I need to get smaller as per what the judges' feedback was, and practice my posing so that I can show that off in
Yep.
the best way for the judges. And yeah, so we're just going to see how we go for the next couple of months and
That's
kick some
amazing.
goals. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really, really excited to keep following you and like to see your progress in the upcoming months. It's going to be a really cool
Yeah.
transformation. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I have Jackie is an amazing coach, and Charles is so very supportive, and the boys are just so excited to come to another show. Um, so yeah, it's very exciting time for me,
That's
but also for my family.
for
Yeah,
yeah, for everyone. And it's just
yeah.
like regardless of your first show that sucked, regardless of the placing, there's still so much to take away from it, I find. Like
Oh,
I'm sure
absolutely. Like
the amount of stuff that you can
whether
learn about yourself.
yeah, about yourself and about your abilities and just how much you can actually do. Um, like I never would have thought when I was 18 and sitting in pubs every spare
Right.
second of my life that this is what I would be dedicating my life to now. um, but at the same time, I absolutely love it and I love the process. I love the lifestyle. As much as the food is boring, I enjoy eating it. And my boys are really good in keeping me in check with my food as well. So they'll let me know
Nice.
where, if I can, yeah, they'll tell me if I'm allowed to have certain foods or not. So
That's wonderful.
like
You're sup-
they'll get ice cream out after dinner and say, "No, mum, you can't have this because it's not on your meal plan." So, you know,
your support system is fantastic.
they are
They'll tell
such
you
a
how
good
it is.
support. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they do.
That's wonderful. All right, I think we're about at time. It's awesome talking to
Okay.
you. It was so great
Yeah,
to hear
thank
about
you,
your
Josh.
journey and just what you've been doing. And good luck in your upcoming
Thank you.
contest. Like you're on the way. You're hitting the big leagues now. We're really excited for you.
Yeah. Yeah,
And so,
when you say it like that, it makes me kind of nervous, but
but
I'm very
that's
excited.
good.
I am
It's
very
gonna push you
excited.
a little bit
It's
more.
huge.
You got to do
It
it.
is definitely. It's next level, and it's something
Yep.
that I think we all should aim for, is to just level up each time, and I
Each
think I've
time.
achieved that. So,
Yeah. Hell
yeah.
yeah. That's right. You can
Yeah.
only do a couple regional shows before. Yeah. It's like if you want
Yeah.
to keep going, you just got to keep moving up, right? Why keep doing the same thing
Yeah,
over and over again?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for
Awesome.
having
You're
me
welcome.
on to
It was
chat.
super fun. Awesome. So yeah,
Yeah,
well
always.
after your show or getting close to it, we'll have to have another chat, and then we'll see how
Yeah,
everything went.
absolutely.
And
Yeah, and I'll be a bit fluffier, hopefully.
yeah, that'd be great. Awesome. All right, on. Have a great
Okay.
night.
Thank you. You
Thank you.
too.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.